In this part of the video, we are going to look at how to define your own exceptions and how to use them. Lots of the case when you define your own exceptions, you just want to create a new data type. Really not much work need to be done. So for example, I define my own output file exception just to make it more meaningful, give it a more meaningful name for my application. So, and it will extend the exception here, and I have one constructor and which I just invoke my superclass constructor to do that, and I have another constructor and invoke my superclass constructor to do that. And similarly, I have another exception called noSetFound exception. It's more specific to my application there, and similarly I just override the provide to constructor by invoking the parent class constructor. Alright, so now let's take a look at how to use our own exception here. So test your own exception. Here's what we're declaring. We say we're going to throw output file exception and noSetFound exception, the two exceptions we just defined. Alright, so we say we want a print writer, and again we want to create a file, open the file, and wrap it around the print writer and write something to it. You know this constructor could throw an exception, right? An IO exception. So we catch the IO exception, but after we catch it, this is how we handle it. We throw our own exception here because this is a more specific to our application than the general IO exception. So I give it a more meaningful name, say new output file exception, and give it an error message. And in the finally class, I'm going to be responsible and close the output object. Alright, you see here I said I might throw output file exception. Here I throw that object. And come back to the map one. So we have a map that maps a string to a set of integer. So we go ahead, create that map, and then we try to get that set for hello. And I'm trying to do this because it could throw a no pointer exception if a set doesn't exist, if this is the first time you map anything to hello. So you catch the no pointer exception and you throw your own new noSetFound exception with a more meaningful error message for your application. So you see, this is how you use your own exception. You declare saying I'm throwing them, and here if you catch some exception, you create your own exception so that it got a more meaningful name, and here similar thing, more meaningful for your application. Alright, now let's take a look at the client code. How do you use it? So they say try test your own exception. Remember, in that method we throw our own exception. After catch output file exception, I handle it in one way. After catch noSetFound exception, I handle it in another way. So this is about how to use exception. Pretty much you need to understand the difference between runtime exception and all the other checked exception. And remember, for the checked exception, you have to honor it somehow. You either try catch it and handle it, or you specify it and leave it to your caller to try and catch it. And when defining your own exception, usually there's not much work. You just create a more meaningful exception for your application. Thank you.